Governments deny it. Militaries deny it. Even the mainstream media denies it. But they are here, and they've been here for a very long time. The Mutual UFO Network has been on the front lines uncovering the truth since 1969. And now we're sharing that truth with you. Welcome to MUFON What's Up with your hosts, Katie Page, Christopher DePerno, and Tara Diulis. Exclusively on the KGRA Digital Broadcasting Network. Wondering what's up? So are we.
It is Tuesday night, and you are listening to MUFON What's Up Radio, that show that says discovery starts with curiosity, and curiosity starts with MUFON. Brought to you by KGRADB.com. I hope you go to their website and check out all the great content they have. As always, we're endorsed by MUFON, the Mutual UFO Network, asking that all-important question, are we alone in the universe? I am your host, Katie Page, Colorado MUFON State Director and Mars Administrator. I just want to say I'm having technical difficulties all day today. I don't know if there was a solar flare or what's happening. We had a very windy day up here in the Rocky Mountains, but my internet's been popping on and off all day. I've rebooted. I've done everything I can, but I might freeze from time to time, but I'm really going to try my best to hang in there with you guys tonight. So patience and a little luck, maybe we'll get through. Tonight we have a very special guest, and I'm so excited to talk with her. It's so great when you get to hear something new and fresh that a lot of people haven't heard before, and that's what we have for you guys tonight. We have Julie Ohlson. She's here, and she has an incredible encounter to share with all of us, with even she has even debris that was shown and fell from the sky. So I'm anxious to learn more about this case. Also, I wanted to again remind you guys of some great events coming up this weekend. I will be out there along with KGRA at the UFO Expo in Roswell. It's happening, like I said, this weekend, March 10th through the 12th. So I hope to see you guys out there. I also wanted to share with you guys that I will also be speaking this year at the 35th Annual Ozark Mountain UFO Conference, April 14th through the 16th, out there in Missouri. So I'm really excited to be a part of that great conference, and I hope to see you guys out there. Again, Contact in the Desert is June 2nd through the 4th out there in California in Indian Wells, and you can go to Contact in the Desert, get your tickets for that. And last but not least, it's the MUFON Symposium, August 24th through the 27th. And they have Chris and I will be teaching at the boot camp out there. Tara, I hope Tara's going to be out there. I'm going to have to ask her when we bring her on here. But I hope to see you guys out there at the MUFON Symposium, August 24th through the 27th. Let's go ahead and bring in my co-host. We have Tara Diulis out of Phoenix. You also see Tara on Sky Tour Live with Mark D'Antonio here on KGRA. Hey, Tara, how you doing?
Hi, Katie. Hi, everyone. Good to see you.
Am I frozen? I'm just going to keep a pose.
Yeah, awesome pose. We can hear you, but you're freezing up here and there. And
are you going to be at the symposium this year?
Not at the symposium, but I will be at the MUFON boot camp that will be in November here in Mesa, Arizona, and I think you'll be there as well. So that'll be fun. Look forward to that.
Yeah, that's good point to mention. Phoenix is having their boot camp again, first weekend in November. So correct. Yeah, if you can't make it out to the symposium, make sure you get out there to the Phoenix boot camp. That's always a blessed whole weekend, and it's a lot of fun.
I'll learn a lot of good
Let's go ahead and bring in our other co-host, Chris DePerno. He is the state director for New York and also on the ERT. And Tara and Jenna. How you doing, Chris?
Jenna's still missing. She's in Lake Huron swimming, I guess. I don't know what's going on with her.
Oh, yeah. What's that? Just her tutu?
Maybe the U.S. government. But Jerry's here with me. Jerry's got a new girlfriend. We're going to.
Yeah. Oh, good for him.
Yeah, baby. He's been working.
Fast.
He's been doing his thing. He's been putting his thing down.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Yeah, he's crazy man. We're going to have a great.
Is he healing? Tonight. He looks like he's.
Is he healing? Healing.
It looks like he's healing. Yeah, wasn't he all wounded from the balloon crash?
Yeah, he's still got a broken arm. What do you think these guys? They don't heal up that fast.
He does have a cast.
They got little thin arms, for God's sakes. What do you think? They grow overnight?
Oh, well, some might. I've heard.
Yeah, I do. Aliens have
nothing.
Replicators and they have the lasers.
And you want him to heal
I thought they could
overnight.
heal in an instant.
Hey, he's not going to heal in an instant.
Yeah, he's an alien.
Like
he should.
Nah, still got a broken arm.
Oh,
and stuff
funny.
like that. I'll take the cast off probably next week.
Okay,
I have to take him to the alien doctor. I can't wait to find out what the bill is going to be on that. I wonder if he's on Blue Cross.
Out of this world.
Yeah, it'll probably be out of this world. But anyways, we're going to have a great show tonight because we're going to be talking to
Galactic
Julie
Insurance.
Ohlson. Well, yes, that's true. Anyways, I want to talk to her about leprechauns because I spent 2 years in Ireland. I thought it was a fabulous place, and everybody talked about the little people there. The little people there. The little people there. So I think it's going to be absolutely fascinating because there were little people there and there were little people in Minnesota. And I want to know all about those little people. So anyways,
very cool.
Great show tonight. We're going to have a great time. We're going to have a ball. So hang on to your hats, folks. And yes, Jerry, I will talk about your girlfriend, for God's sakes. Oh, God.
Love it. Love it. Well,
I want to know about this person.
So the girlfriend?
So Tara, what do you have to kick us off? Yeah. Her name.
Yeah. What's the girlfriend's name, Chris?
It's a surprise. It's part of the news story.
Okay.
We'll get into it.
Wait, okay.
It's later.
I got pictures of her and everything, baby. You're going to be so shocked.
I can't wait. Okay, well,
these aliens don't have taste, I can tell you that.
Well, no surprise there. No surprise. Well, today's meme shows a hovering UFO with the top up, and two aliens are looking down over the side at a large bolt laying on the ground, right? And one is saying to the other, well, it really doesn't look all that important. And besides, Roswell's not that far away. Haha, totally crashed. The bolt came off.
Got it. They came all this way and lost a bolt.
They did. Uh-oh. Well, you know what else is associated with Roswell? You think about alien autopsies, right? Well, of course, on Etsy, you can find pictures of alien autopsy. And just a fair warning to everyone, the images you're about to see are actually made of paper and mixed media. So they may be disturbing to some viewers, but don't forget. So found on Etsy, you can find this alien autopsy specimen. Go ahead and take it away, Amanda. It's a realistic mummified prop alien. So 200.
It's a great Christmas gift.
Isn't it cool? Look at the skin-looking things on it. Oh my God!
Wow.
You know, I'm coming up to my 30th wedding anniversary. I figured out what I wanted for my 30th wedding anniversary.
Well, for $250, you can own this paper doll. Okay,
how much?
Look, $250. It's a prop specimen, and you know, there's just a lot of cool things. Look at those cool toes. I mean, just the artistic level on this, I just find really cool. So
you got a better chance of seeing Jesus before you pay $200.
Well, if that's too much, maybe this will help you. For $4.50, you can get this. Basically, it's a pattern for a knittable alien autopsy specimen, and it has realistic fingers and basically, you can put all your internal organs, and look at all that. It looks like a carrot and a steak, and there's some fingers, but it's really cute.
And a steak.
Well, look at the organs in there.
I don't know how to knit.
I think he's got a prostate problem.
Somebody to knit it.
He does.
Prostate is pretty
That's
big.
really cute, though.
This website is really cute that has these patterns. They also have frogs and mice, and also a little worm that's basically been dissected. Very cute. Of course, you can find anything on Etsy, and definitely alien autopsy specimens.
God.
Isn't that hilarious?
I think you could really fool somebody with that paper mache. You could fool somebody with the paper mache for sure.
It looks very realistic, and it's small, and they're all just on cookie sheets, so pretty small specimen. Oh, too funny. Well, don't forget your paranormal pops these days, folks. So St. Patrick's Day is coming up, and you can order these paranormal pops with different kinds of tartans or or plaids on that. So maybe get your family's, crest or something, but very cute. Those types of fun, wonderful gifts can be found at paranormalpops.com. And last but not least, you guys, are you fueling up? Don't forget to fuel up for life. Their proprietary formula helps support your cognitive skills, focus, concentration, and energy. And Fuel Up offers their Feel the Difference money back guarantee. So you can visit fuelup.gg/MUFON for special offers, and you can fuel up for life. And you can use Katie there to shop you might get some maybe free shipping or something, who knows, but fuel up for life, everyone. And that's it. So Chris, what do you have for us?
I wish
today?
I could have free shipping with everything.
I do too.
What's
no
the
such
news?
thing as free shipping.
Are we going to do the news? The news.
News.
Let's
What's
get
up?
to the news. Dun, dun,
Let's do the
dun.
news.
The news.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh is right.
It looks like they're having shots.
Dun, 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 the news.
Have
All
a good
right.
time.
Let's get there. What are we doing here? We got everybody all confused. All right. First story.
We didn't even have shots.
Man abducted by aliens on Budapest stag party, bachelor party, doing a boozy 3-day bender, gets abducted. A groom-to-be vanished for 15 hours during a stag party in Budapest, claims to have been abducted by little green aliens after being found lying in a bush. Why can't you just say to the bride, I don't want to marry you? A spaced-out groom-to-be told pals he was kidnapped by aliens at a stag party. I can't believe this. This is the best excuse I should have used 30 years ago. The boozy husband then went missing for 15 hours during a 3-day bender in Budapest, triggering a frenzied manhunt across the Hungarian capital. Well, I can't help it. This is the story. He worried pals eventually found him lying in a bush and claiming he'd been beamed aboard a giant UFO by little green men. Matt Mavar, boss of the party, called the last night of freedom. We are used to hearing about close encounters on trips to Eastern Europe, but this one was out of this world. While a particular spear was found to be hollow and harmless, what exactly is it and where could it have come from are the questions that were stuff. Anyways, the bloke had gone and walkabout, and to be fair, his mates were generally concerned. Several hours passed, and they couldn't reach him.
Oh, my goodness.
Not
like answering his phone, huh?
Well, 15 hours of boozing in Budapest. There you got Budapest right there. What do you expect is going to happen? Good Lord, come on. It's his last day of freedom. Oh, I mean, getting married. Anyways, we handled any emergency on the weekend trip. So when the group contacted us and said he vanished after a long day on the beer, we were all worried. But they called us back 15 hours later to say that they had found him stranded in a bush and he was babbling on about aliens and UFOs. Apparently, these creatures with the jet black eyes had lifted him off the ground and then flew him around in space. I think he was just on another planet due to the drink, but at least he had a great story for his bachelor party. The Tisdale-based company that had scores of paranormal requests from punters. I don't know what a punter is, but hey, one of even wanting to go to a UFO hotspot in Roswell, New Mexico. It is quirky and unusual, but across the industry, we are seeing a growing demand for customers wanting unique and memorable experiences. And we can arrange pretty much anything, but sadly, we can't arrange for you to be abducted by aliens. So anyways, what happens in the abduction experience? There's 2 types of abductions. I got this wonderful tape. I'm going to show you all about abductions right now.
Thank you all for coming on such short notice. Once again, I'm Agent Morris with the NSA, and this is Special Agent Fitzsimmons.
You 3 are of great interest to the U.S. government as you are the first and only people to have experienced 2 verified alien abductions.
This is nuts, because 1 minute we're drinking beer in Nicole's parking lot, and it's like now we're cosmic curiosities.
Indeed. Now, can you tell us how you were brought aboard the spacecraft?
Well, first of all, I'd like to thank you for this bitchin' hat. It fits my head perfect.
We're glad to like it.
And also to answer answer your question, sir, it was this sort of like golden light came down from the spaceship, and we were just like gently ushered in and just floated up into it.
Yeah, and we got up and, we got up in the ship and we saw the aliens, glowing beings made of beautiful light. And they welcomed us back. It was amazing.
I see. And you, Miss Rafferty?
Yeah. Cookie crumbled a little different for me here. I wasn't so much lifted by light as I was caught in a net. Little bastard set a snare for me. Next thing I know, I'm being winched straight up through the world's sappiest pine tree, right? My slacks got snagged on a branch, so they're gone. And I'm hauled on board to see my old pals, the gray aliens with the big, stupid, fat eyes. And I'm hit with the realization, first time I've been on a second date since 2009.
There you go.
Interesting. And how would you describe their demeanor?
Shoppers storming a Walmart on Black Friday.
I wonder if this was some sort of anatomical study?
Nah, I don't think any of these guys are working on their master's thesis. Here's what I think was happening. You might help me out, Ted. Stand up. 1 second. Yeah, turn around. Thanks. So these guys don't have butts, regular butts. I don't think they've ever seen a crack before. So my theory is, right, they thought I had, like, broken into 2 pieces and they were trying to put Humpty Dumpty back together again. Gosh, they were trying everything. I mean, they were pushing,
now that's
they were
funny.
slamming. They'd take one cheek, kind of jiggle it, and they were making a sound the whole time, like... One guy was trying to, like, punch it back together like he was breaking in a catcher's
The
mitt.
expression on the other girl's face is hilarious.
Now, how were you all returned to Earth?
But when the aliens left,
She
I
couldn't
remember
keep a straight
feeling, like,
face.
happy and safe, because I knew they'd always be there just watching over me.
I get pushed out the hatch to find they've let me out on top of the ship. So I gotta scoot myself down cold metal to a jump spot. I free fall 20 feet down. I land ass up on a pool raft in the middle of Danny Randall's pool party.
I'm sorry, who is Danny Randall?
Beats the hell out of me, but he's never gonna forget his 12th birthday. I'll tell you.
Oh no.
Oh my God.
That's funny.
So,
Oh my God. Oh, that's a good
alien
one.
abductions. What a way to not get into a marriage. Go on a 15-hour bender and then tell your future wife, I can't marry you, honey. I just been abducted by the aliens and they probed me. So there you go. What do you think, Katie?
Where they sewed up the crack. I think you're hilarious, Chris. The news that you come up with.
You
I
can't
have
make
no
this
words.
stuff up.
Tara,
what do you think?
What she said, oh my gosh, I don't know what to say about that. That's
All right. Well, let's get on with story number 2.
Okay.
Story number 2 is great. Jerry's girlfriend.
Is it a serious story?
my
Oh no.
Pensioner impregnated by aliens during
Chris.
abduction and left to raise an ET baby. Abducted pensioner Jane Buckle, 68, told the Daily Star, there's a classic Daily Star, how a night of mystery has left her with an alien baby which she will devote her life to bringing up. Let's see what this alien baby's all about here. For God's sakes, people. There you go. Alien baby.
It's
A pensioner
doll.
claimed
my
to have given birth
goodness,
to an
who are these
alien
people?
after being abducted as she watched TV. Jane Buckle says that she gave birth to an ET, which she's named Target Elvis, after being abducted on March 1st while watching the Vikings. I'm not quite sure what that's all about, but hey, this is what happens when you watch these crazy shows.
And you wonder why people don't take us seriously.
I know. The 68-year-old claims that she was hypnotized and put under some sedation via alien hand vibrations, causing her to forget the apparent event despite not remembering anything from the so-called abduction last month. Jane sensationally claims that she had become pregnant for 20 days and is now devoting her life raising an alien baby. Let's see what she looks like There you go. Isn't that a cute little tiger? Whatever. Anyways, she told the Daily Star, I was abducted. I was watching the Vikings on the telly. Then all of a sudden I lost track of time. I can't really remember. But when I came back, I was pregnant. 1 minute I was there. The next minute, I don't know where I was. Whether they hypnotized me or put me under some sedation, I don't know. But all of a sudden, I was pregnant, Jane believes. Extraterrestrials choose her to bring their offspring into the world because they recognize she could give it a good... Now, wait a minute. Let's go back. Let's call this Mom. Okay? I'm sorry. Since we're welcoming baby Target,
it's apparently a little
Jane
boy.
wasted no time in showing off her new pride and joy to neighbors who says she has warned him. Thank God she's not my neighbor. Warned to him massively. Friends in Hungerford, Berkshire, to have been so friendly towards the bug-eyed neighbors that Jane says she has been handed clothes, even pushed a chair for Target. She claims people of all ages in the market town have embraced the little alien as much as she has. Now, let me tell you something, folks. This woman is a internet sensation. She really is. Jane said, I can't remember anything about it, so I don't really mind what they did. But just take you up on their spacecraft and take you back because they knew I'd give a good life on Earth. I wasn't pregnant for very long. Out he popped, and we've been having a wonderful time ever since. I can't read any more of this story. I'm sorry. Let's see what Jane is all about.
No, please don't. Please stop. Stop.
And Jerry's new girlfriend.
I gotta watch this train wreck.
What's the little tyke's name? What's the little tyke's name? You know, did she say? It looks like a boy. Does he have his blanket?
For goodness sakes, I got the hippie snakes. I got the snakes. I got the hippie snakes. I can't sit still. With the hippie snakes. I can't buy still now. With the hippie snakes. It's in the bag. Woo! The hippie snake. I snake it to the left. I snake it to the right. I do the hippie snake with all my mind, oh baby. Come on and do the snake. It's in the bag. Woo! The hippie snake.
I hope it's not a real snake.
Flexible she is.
Yeah.
Okay. Remember.
I snake it to the left. I snake it to the right. I do the hippie snake with all my mind, oh baby.
Baby, woo!
Come on and do the snake. It's in the bag.
This is going to be a long week.
Hippie snake. Ooh, the hippie snake. Ooh, the hippie snake.
And folks, that's
It's going to be a long week.
Yeah.
And that is the news for the week.
That doesn't count as news. That was
She is a
very weird entertainment.
But the truth of the matter
I can see why. I can see why.
She's walking around with a baby carriage with a little alien in it. And
A
she's
stuffed
telling people
baby
that,
alien.
what can I tell you?
Craig.
It is what it is.
That's funny.
All right, so that's the news. Thank you, everybody.
I'm super bummed. Well, that was interesting. Thank you, Chris, for that. I'm bummed because I had a really great case of the week, and I've been having internet issues, as it's apparent, because people keep disappearing, keep freezing probably, but I couldn't get it uploaded. So I'll save it for next week. But it was really cool. It's bright light moving, and then it comes over these, and it just disappears. And it looks legit, and it was really interesting. So next week we'll have that great case of the week. But did we get a Bob Spearing video?
We did get a Bob Spearing video. Amanda, would you roll that video, please?
All right.
Hi, everybody. This is Bob Spearing, MUFON's Director of International Investigations. Each week, Chris and the crew allows me to show you, the audience, something of interest. And we have a very interesting old school photo, not a digital photo, but something that somebody sent us in case 128611 this past month. But the picture is from 1996, and it was a print. It was not a digital photograph. It came from a negative. The person felt obliged to send it in because he didn't know what it was, and one of our premier photo analysts, Sam Maranto from Illinois, took a crack at it. So first I'd like to show you the picture of this dark almost football-shaped object. You can see by looking at the picture that there is a lot of dots on it. The witness claims it might be dirt. Sam thought it might be dirt and raindrops, possibly on the camera lens at the time. And Sam's analysis showed that the object may be further back. There was a tower that you could see there. So we're going to show you what Sam did with this photo in the first part of his analysis, which I thought was excellent. He colorized it, and so you can clearly see the tower in the background and the object fairly far away. He said that it's most likely not a bird. It has a lot of symmetry, as if it's an elliptical. It seems to have a halo around it, like the object is either out of focus or in motion, or possibly surrounded by some sort of field. And he enhanced the color saturation to show the density of the object. Let's look at the second set of his analysis report, and he did some magic on it, but he tried different colors. He tried to see if he could clarify the object, and what he came to the conclusion about was that it really is, or seems to be, a football-shaped object, and that it was fairly large, and that it was definitely not a bird. We like to get old-time pictures because prior to the digital age, when you could easily manipulate photographs, these ones from prints and negatives really are harder to fake. The people who like to put strings on metal pans, for example, pie pans, and try to hoax it, this object clearly is far away, and it clearly is big, and it clearly is football shaped. So I was very, very intrigued by the object itself and Sam's analysis. Thank you, Sam. That's it for today. I'd like to thank Chris again for having me on, and hopefully I'll get to see you guys again next week.
Old-time film,
Interesting.
old-time picture.
Very cool.
I tell you, when I first saw the
love it.
picture, I go, wow,
Yeah.
that could have been a UFO. But when you get it analyzed, it was a football. Very good work, Bob.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think, Katie?
No, it was a UFO shaped like a football, Chris. I mean, it's not a balloon. You don't see any tethers coming down. I mean, you really think it was a football?
I think that's what his analysis was.
It looks
that was a football.
metallic.
I think
Well, there's been reports of football-shaped UFOs.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah.
I mean, it kind
But
of seems a little big to be a football. But I mean, the football would be down, like, you know.
Well, you don't know the perspective really where it
it's
was.
high, really high, and it looks really large. I'm not buying the football.
The jury's still out
I
on
think
that
it was
one.
a
All right, buddy.
football-shaped craft.
Tara, what do you think?
I think it's interesting
Okay.
that they can do the analysis on something so old like that, and I agree that those are the fun pictures to look at, and you can see that it hadn't been messed with. So I don't know what it is. I'd like to study it some more and do some more research with it. Actually,
Well, we'll get back to it. I'll get back to Bob, and we'll see what it is. So, Katie, how about our guest?
I would like to know what our listeners think. Football, UFO.
it looks like a football.
Okay, let's get to our guest. Looks good.
Awesome.
But I gotta sneeze. Oh no. Okay,
It's in tight.
no, don't sneeze. Okay, So our guest, Julie Ohlson. So Julie just published her first book in September of 2022. It's entitled Dark Secrets and Hidden Lies, the 1982 Willeney UFO case. Willeney, I think I said that wrong. We'll ask her when she gets on. UFO case, the true story of two paranormal encounters. How do you say it, Tara?
Is it Willeney?
Willeney. That's how you Willeney. Yeah, Willeney UFO case. The true story of two paranormal encounters. She lives in northern Minnesota, is married and has 3 beautiful, successful daughters and 2 amazing grandchildren. She has a passion for the UFO phenomenon, as her documented story has now been rekindled after 40 years. She's excited to share her story with the world. Please welcome to the show, Julie.
Hello. You guys
Hi,
are
Julie.
so silly.
We're so happy to have you here. Thank
you for inviting me.
I'm sorry for the technical difficulties I'm having.
Sure.
Yeah,
Thank you
thanks
for
for
having
being
me, you
here.
silly girl.
I love the wood in your background. So where are you located in Minnesota?
I'm in northern Minnesota. It's a little town called Bovee. So close to the Iron Range.
Oh,
and
nice.
we're way
wow.
up here. So
Oh,
How much
beautiful.
snow have you gotten there?
So
oh gosh, too much.
Too much.
We're getting more. Yeah, it's been a very, very snowy
Too much.
year, and I'm just so looking forward to spring. I'm just done with the snow. So I mean, there's nowhere to put it. So and the cities right now they're getting even more. I think the next Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So, but it's it's winter and it's beautiful. But we did get a lot of snow this year. So
you in California.
Yeah, California too. Oh
Right.
my gosh,
You in
it's over the
California are
rooftops.
getting hit.
Exactly. And there's
And
more
Phoenix.
kids, I
Don't forget
guess.
Phoenix, right, Tara?
Oh, beautiful sunny day yesterday and today. Gorgeous.
Okay, I'll be out there
In the
tomorrow.
70s. Oh, it's gorgeous. Please
Oh,
come.
nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's gorgeous.
So, well, you guys are a silly group, but that was fun.
So Julie, I would like to
Sure.
So I would like to kind of start out talking about, first of all, how did this kind of resurface after so much time? And was this case initially reported to any UFO groups out there when this occurred?
All right, I'm going to jump right into it. Well, I am 59 right now, and this happened in 1982. And in 1982, I was 18. I just turned 18 years old. And this happened February 10th of 1982, the sighting. And I still lived at home with my mother and my stepfather and my siblings. I have 2 older twin sisters, but they weren't home that evening, an older brother and 2 younger brothers. And February 10th of 1982, I lived in a very rural town of Willeney. A lot of people, a lot of my friends and stuff are watching. Matamidi, Willeney, Stillwater. Willeney, like I said, under like 400 people back then. And it was about 10:30 at night. My mother and I went up to bed. And I have to say this because my parents at that time were getting a divorce. So Roland was downstairs on the couch and my mother and I were upstairs. And 10:30 at night. So you know how like my mother slept with me that night because they were going through a divorce. And I still wonder because this happened at midnight and we went up at 10:30. And to me, it didn't seem like 10:30, or like midnight should have came that fast. But my mother and I were on the bed and just falling asleep and not facing. So so the bed was up against the window. And there was 2 windows, and like if somebody came into a room and turned on a bedroom light, that's how this was. I woke up to thinking that somebody walked in, came into the bedroom and turned on the light. But when I opened my eyes, the whole entire room was lime green. It was so bright green. Everything was just lit up. And I'm like, whoa, like, what is this? And so I rolled over on the bed and I looked out those windows and I got on my knees and I couldn't believe it because we lived on a little hill and down in our yard we had a street light. So if you would put like stack another street light pole on top of that, this light was even with me, like even with the windows, because we were on the second floor, upstairs on the second floor. And that's the windows I was looking out at. And I couldn't even believe what I was looking out at. I looked out the window and there was this long, at least 40 feet, maybe a little bit longer, cigar-shaped light just out there hovering. And that's where that green light was coming into the bedroom. That's why the whole room was lit up. And I just couldn't even believe, I stared at it for just a few seconds. And then I kind of nudged my mother, and I didn't even have to really say anything to her. And my mother woke up and she was just like, I wasn't even looking at her, but she came around to the edge of the bed and she looked out the window. So her and I are both looking out at this long green, bright cigar-shaped light just hovering. And this is in the paper. My mother said, "Oh my God, Julie, it's the second coming of the Lord." And that's what my mother thought, because it was that majestic, it was just, that was her first thoughts. And so we're both just staring at it and we were just like, you're just frozen. You're just like magnetized to whatever this is. Then as we're watching it, this light lowers. So now it's going below the street light. And I want to say too that I live in a very rural area. In front of our house, there's ponds. And on the side of our house was the backwaters of Lake Washington. And I didn't have like houses to the right of me or to the left of me or in front of me. This was all pond area. But I did have neighbors that lived behind us. So we had, that's just that, I was like we were on a corner lot. And so we watched this and we watched it lower. And we're like, so now we're looking out the second floor windows. And now this is, it's below. So we're looking down at this light and we're just like, oh my gosh, what's going on? And I told you my parents were getting divorced. And Roland was downstairs and he was screaming. He was looking out the patio window. So at the same time, he's down below us and we're above, up in the bedroom. And he's looking out the window. So he's watching everything at the same time we are. And he's yelling, "June, get down here." He's screaming for my mother to get down there because, he said, "There's a UFO. June," and he just kept screaming, "June, get down here." But we were just paralyzed upstairs just watching this. So he's watching it down below, and my mother and I are watching it from the second floor windows. And as it lowered, it got to about 6 feet off the ground. And we're just looking down at this, like, what in the world? And then that it lifted, but when it lifted, it did a bounce like this, and then it shot up in the air. And then when it shot up in the air, you're not going to believe this, so you got a lime green light. And when I was watching that before this lowered, I looked in that light, and yes, it was blinding, at first when the whole room lit up and I looked out the window, but you could look at it. So I'm watching this lime green cigar-shaped light hover. And then again, it lowered and then it did that little bounce and lifted, but it shot out fireballs off, not straight down, but off to the sides. And do you have the pictures, Katie, of how much snow that we had that shows the pictures of when these fireballs that had like little tails, when they shot down, it burned holes? No, not that. The picture of the snow. The picture, like I gave you with the my mother
original photo.
Put up the newspaper. No,
the original photo.
Okay, that one. Keep that one up. Okay, so there's our house. This is 1982. You see the house was built in 1900. We had a lot of snow, and the second floor. You can see the two windows up there. We were looking out those two windows to the left, and my father was looking out the patio window right below that, like right behind my head. And that's my mother and I. And this piece here in the paper that the paper took, this is one of the holes that we left undisturbed, because we retrieved many pieces, half a dozen pieces. But this one, you can see when these fireballs shot out, they melted into the snow like 3-4 inches down. And you can see the ashes all around it. I wish we could zoom in a little bit. Okay, this picture here, this is my mother's tip of her shoe. This is an undisturbed piece the next day, because and I'll get to how many pieces we collected, but we left one piece undisturbed. So people that came over could see it. And we knew that the police were coming, and we knew that the University of Minnesota was coming out. And that's all ashes and debris around that ring. And those are the type of things that shot out of that craft.
Wow.
And those are some more pictures, original pictures, melted debris that was left behind after sighting.
Julie, do you think that craft was in trouble? Do you think it was in distress? Do you think the craft was in trouble? Do you think it was in distress?
Well,
with these
first
things.
of all, I mean, being 18 years old and seeing something like this, it was just like, I mean, I had to am I awake? Am I dreaming? I think it kind of might have been in trouble because, it was there and then it lowered. And then when it tried to lift, it did this. It like did a bounce and absolutely no sound. And I know this is winter and our windows are closed. So, the windows are closed, but I didn't hear anything. And I'm telling you, if this was summer, we would have had a fire because when this rose and it shot down those fireballs, I mean, it lit up the tree, like you could see the silhouettes of the trees and everything. And there was just they were like flames coming out of how does a lime green light shoot out flames? I mean, I'm telling you, because when I was watching that, when I was kneeling on the bed, I looked really hard and I didn't see any darkness in that light. I didn't see anything shiny. It was just a solid green light. So I'm thinking in my head, it's a solid green light shoot out these fireballs. And they came out fast.
Let's go out a little bit.
Sure.
So you, and when you went up with your mom, you saw this light coming into the window. It was a lime green light that was in the window. And it was very bright outside, right? Am I correct on that?
Yeah, it lit up the whole bedroom. That's what woke me up.
The whole thing. Do you think that light, when you now see this, and I mean, you guys are very stunned because you got this UFO in front of you there, but you're being called downstairs. Do you think maybe this light was freezing you to stay there? That you just couldn't move? Was there some type of frozenness to you where you wanted to go downstairs but couldn't go downstairs?
You didn't want to take your eyes off of this, Chris, because what am I looking at? When you're looking at something like that, you're not thinking, oh, Rollins yelling downstairs. We'll just go downstairs. I know what he's yelling about because he's seeing the same things we're seeing at the same time. So, you just stayed looking at this. This was something that I'm telling you, it was bizarre. It was majestic. It was beautiful. It was scary. I mean, there were so many things at once, and your eyes just locked onto this. It was just like, oh my gosh. Like my mother and I didn't say anything. The only thing she said, it's the second coming of the Lord, because that's what she thought, because it was that majestic.
Did she see the ship though? I mean,
she's seen everything I did. She's standing at the edge of the bed, looking out the window, and I'm kneeling on the bed. Now I seen this a few seconds before her, probably about 10 seconds before her, maybe 15, because it woke me up, and like I said, I turned around, I kneeled on the bed, and I'm like, what am I looking at? And like I said, I gave her a little nudge, and I didn't have to say anything really to her because the room's green. She sees that I'm looking out the window. So she goes to the window like, what is Julie, looking at? And my mother's like, oh my God, it's the second. I mean, that's how it was.
I would have said the same thing too. Oh my God.
Yeah.
And I'm just thankful that, it wasn't the second coming at that point in time, because I need to confess a lot of sins before I
got a little work to do.
My mother was heavy into the Lord, and that's what she believed. She just, and you're like, okay, that's not something normal. Like, to me, I will never forget that sighting. I will never, it stays with me. I sometimes dream about it. It'll forever impact me. And I got to witness something so miraculous.
Terry, did you have a question?
I did, Julie. So I want to kind of go back to your sighting. So you were looking at it and you said it kind of bounced and then shot up. So can you just kind of start again from there. And then what happened after it left? Did you guys talk about this? What did you do, and how long was it before this started coming up again?
Okay, so when the light woke me up, and the whole room's green, I'm like, what? I mean, it's not a car going by with the car lights. And I lived in a very rural area, population 400 or less, little town in my little Willardy. To see when I seen it like a few seconds before my mother, because, like I said, I got up and I kneeled on the bed and I looked out the window. So I would say it was out there hovering for a good half a minute, and maybe even a little bit longer. I mean, it just, and so by the time my mother got to the edge of the bed and we're both looking out at it, she got to witness that too for probably about another 10 seconds. And then we're like, oh my God, it's lowering. So now we're looking down at this light, at this long cigar shaped lime green light. And it didn't blind you. It was so bright, and it kind of had like a hue around the light, and it was bright. And so we're looking at this, and then we could see that it did, because you're looking down at it. I mean, this is only like 70 feet from our window. I mean, it was that close, because this street light was in our yard, on the corner of our yard. And then we watched it lift, but when it lifted, the light kind of went like this, like two bounces, and then it shot straight up like that, so fast. And now you're looking at this thing that just bounced. It shot straight up, and then before you know it, all these fireballs are coming down, and they have tails.
What color were the fireballs, Julie?
Excuse me?
What color were the fireballs?
Orange flames. They were like a flame, just like orange flames. Like, and they had like a little ball, and they had a tail to them, and they just shot down, and they burned into the snowbanks across the street, into our yard. And this,
so they were going all over the place. These fireballs were flying all over the place.
Okay.
Yes. And my neighbor Angie, she lived behind. Remember, I told you I didn't have my neighbors.
Yeah.
I mean, in front of us we had the ponds. I had no neighbors on the right or the left, but behind me. So Angie had a job, and she was just getting home around midnight, and she was driving home, and she's coming down the back roads to go to her house, and she pulls her car over. She's like, oh my gosh, what am I looking at? And her story is in my book. I said, whatever you seen, will you write it up, and I'll put it in my book. Yeah, there's the book.
Mm-hmm.
And Angie said that she saw a dark craft, and it followed her her story is in the book. I should read what she said could I read that, what she said?
Yeah, sure.
Or
Yeah.
Go for it.
Yeah. So I got to find out what pages that's on. But she said that there was something like a black saucer following her car, and it was literally above her car. That she said she put her.
Wait a minute. Time out.
Yeah.
You said you saw a cigar-shaped thing, right?
Yes.
But there must have been two crafts, because you're saying that the neighbor saw a black saucer.
Yeah,
But
I'll read exactly what she said. It's in her own words. I said, say whatever, whatever you see, Angie, put it in the book,
but she saw hers around midnight, and you saw yours around 10:30, correct?
No, I went to bed at 10:30. This happened at midnight. Yeah.
Okay.
And then, so she pulled her car over, and she said something followed her for a few blocks on the windy road home, because she lived behind us, and she was just getting off of work. And she pulled her car over, and there was something above her car. And she said it was like a saucer, whatever. And she said that she was so scared, she just shut off her car, pulled over, shut off the car. And then all of a sudden she seen the fire. So at this time, that's when that lime green light was shooting down the fireballs. So she's watching all of this, and she can see the lime green cigar shaped light. She can see the silhouette of the trees, and she can see all these fireballs coming down. And it looked like all the trees were going to, like the whole area was just going to start on fire. So then she took off and went home and told her parent, her mother and her brother, I guess, were home. And she said, I just saw a UFO. But it just was so bizarre, because like I said, to have this lime green light shoot down fireballs that melt into the snow, and then after it got done shooting down these fireballs, within 1, 2, 3 seconds, it was gone at an 80-degree angle. And so now we're looking out, second floor window, and we can see all these embers, one over here, and they're still glowing. They stayed aglow probably for about 15, 20 seconds. So we knew where they were.
So the snow didn't douse them out. The snow didn't just
eventually
the snow. Eventually, but I mean, they were still sizzling and stuff.
Yes, for quite some time. I mean, 15, 20 seconds, they were still burning. And Mom and I we're like, oh my gosh. And you could see one here, across the street, in our yard, in the road. So now they burn out, and then Roland's still downstairs screaming. So then we go downstairs and we're all like, oh my gosh, what was that? I mean, we were just in an uproar, like, so what I did, I wanted to get outside. I wanted to see what it was. And I had my nightgown on. I grabbed a jacket and I went out there, and Roland said, Julie, don't go out there because they could be, radioactive or whatever. Oh. But I went down and I just kind of looked. I didn't touch anything. I just wanted to see, what was that? To be honest, I really wish I was outside when that happened, because can you imagine? I mean, that would have been, yeah.
Sure.
So I went, then I came back in the house, and then none of us went to bed that night. We all stayed up. My mother called her sisters. We called the police. We were up. I mean, this happened at midnight. So we were waiting for morning to come so we could all go out there when it got a little bit lighter. So what we did is we heated our house back then with wood stoves, and we had 2 wood stoves. We burned wood, and we took the shovels from the fireplace and we went out there, and we could see where like what Katie just showed. We went out there and we scooped those pieces up and we put them on a plate, just a kitchen plate, and we brought them into the house. And then the next day, we got
so you actually got pieces of metal, right?
No, these have never been tested. I can't say if they're metal. They need to be tested. I don't know what they are.
Do you have them?
You still have them?
Mm-hmm. Yes, I do.
Let's see them.
You want to see them this quick? Okay.
Sure.
Yeah.
Might as well.
But can I tell you what? I don't want to jump ahead real quick. I want to tell you.
Okay.
I want to tell you about the chain of events first.
Yeah.
Because so then I'm 18. My mother's a housewife. We didn't have computers. We didn't have cell phones. We don't know who to call, what to do. We called the police. And then the next thing you know, we had the White Bear Press paper. That's where all these pictures are from. It's from the newspaper. Mm-hmm. And then we put in a call to the University of Minnesota, and the University of Minnesota came out, and we gave them, this was 40 years ago, so I can't remember if we gave 1 or 2 pieces. I'm thinking it was 2. And then they couldn't analyze the pieces there. So and it says right in the paper, and I think Katie has that article, not us, but the University of Minnesota said they sent these pieces off to the national, not that, let's see, yes, right here. Julie Hansen, that was my maiden name, Willerny, points to the hole burned in the snow near her home last week by an unidentified lime green light. Her mother, June, also looks on. Some remnants were left by the light, also remain in the hole near it. These remnants were sent to the University of Minnesota for identification, but they could not be analyzed there. They have been sent on to a national center where further attempts will be made to identify the objects. Well, I don't know what CUFOS is. And that is, CUFOS is the Center for UFO Studies in Chicago, Illinois. And that's where the University of Minnesota said that they sent these pieces. Okay, great. Our pieces are sent off. We need to know what these are, because my mother and I know that this was not from this world. I mean, this was something extraordinary. So time goes by. We don't hear anything from CUFOS, but I'm going to jump back. We're going to go in reverse again. I don't know, maybe you guys know this name, Robert Engberg, Engberg. He was sent out to our house, and he worked for CUFOS and MUFON. He worked for both of them. He came into our house. He sat down with us. We took him outside, and that piece that was undisturbed that Katie put up, we gave him that piece, and we trusted him. He's from the Center for UFO Studies. We trusted him with that piece. So he took that piece, and he said he was going to have it tested at the Center for UFO Studies. So now we're like, okay, great. University of Minnesota sent pieces to the Center for UFO Studies. Robert Engberg, an investigator, he's got pieces. And now we just got to wait. We just got to wait and find out what these are. Tick-tock, we hear nothing. We hear nothing from Robert. The phone number that Robert gives us, we call it. He doesn't answer us. We call the University of Minnesota. Where did you send those pieces? We want the address. They did finally give it to us. And they said that they have them. It's going to probably take some time. We didn't hear anything. So my mother, so this happened February 10th, 1982. My mother wrote Kufos a letter March of 1982. And my mother's letter is in the book. And I forgot about this letter, okay? Because it was 40 years ago. And I want to tell you how this whole story got rekindled. So my mother writes writes a letter to Kufos pleading, where are my pieces? As God is my witness, this happened. Why haven't we heard back from you? And, the University of Minnesota sent you these pieces. And as far as Robert, we didn't even know where he went. So nobody gets back to us. And we're like, wow, this is pretty sad. And time just goes on, and it just the whole story just kind of fizzles out. And we're like, okay, well, that happened. And I have to say, okay, so my mother passed away January 2018. December 2019, I get a letter in the mail, and it's from MUFON. And they say, are you the girl from 1982 that witnessed this encounter?
Now,
And
what year did you get the letter, Julie?
Okay, no, from MUFON, December 19th, December 2019.
Okay.
I got the letter from MUFON. Okay.
And it said what?
Are you the girl that witnessed this extraordinary story from 1982? And I responded, yes, I am. I am that person. So I got a hold of MUFON, and I met with them, and I told them this is what happened. The University of Minnesota couldn't identify the pieces, and there is this Robert Engberg. We never heard back from them. And they said, let us do some digging. So they wrote a letter to Kufos. And I guess in 1982, when I was having my, I had a 45
Julie, I'm going to stop you there because we're going to go to break. But after break, we're going to pick it up again and go for it. All right?
Right.
That's great.
Time
And
for
hopefully
break.
I have better luck after break. All right. See you after
No,
break.
I hope so. Yeah. Okay.
Hey members, the new KGRA DB app is now available on iOS and Android devices. Gain on-demand access to any KGRA DB programming. Download any show directly to your mobile device to listen or watch on the go. Go to the App Store and search KGRA DB.
MUFON is the voice of thousands of like-minded people who want to see change. We speak up against UFO secrecy. We engage governments and agencies around the world on the topic. We share information with the public through our journal, website, newsletter, social media, and even our own TV channel. When you join MUFON, you add your voice to the cause. Few things are more important in our time than understanding the UFO question. Join MUFON. Find your friends.
Did you know 75% of Americans are chronically dehydrated? If you struggle with focus, run low on energy, or when it's time to finally sleep, you simply can't, this can all be linked to dehydration, and Fuel Up has the answer. Our proprietary formula contains the finest cellular hydration with the strongest immune-enhancing natural ingredients. The Fuel Up system is made up of 3 different incredibly tasting varieties. Wake kickstarts your day with a jolt of caffeine. Play boosts focus while hydrating your cells. Rest not only helps you relax, but also rejuvenates your cells while you sleep. Here's what our clients have to say.
I really don't miss my coffee, and you can tell the difference.
So I'm going to take it for the energy,
I'm taking for the play. I'm gonna take it, all day.
And it works. That's the thing. It works. We love it.
Take the Fuel Up Challenge now, where we offer a Feel the Difference money back guarantee. Fuel Up for life.
You're listening to the KGRA Digital Broadcasting Network. We provide unparalleled coverage of trending news in the world of ufology, cryptozoology, and paranormal phenomenon. Whether you're watching our video live stream or listening to one of our audio programs, you are getting the best from world-renowned researchers and hosts, guiding you through topics the mainstream won't touch. Miss one of your favorite programs? No problem. Head over to the members area at kgradb.com for access to our massive library of award-winning content. Make contact, stay connected. Only at kgradb.com.
Trying to keep a good attitude. Oh, it's so frustrating. All right, let's recap everything I missed. No, I'm just joking. Luckily, I had a chance to talk to Julie a little bit before the show. Hopefully, the connection will be a little bit better. So we were talking about getting these pieces tested, right? Is that where we kind of left off, guys?
That's where we left off.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Let's get back into that.
So MUFON, after, they get a hold of me in 2019, I tell them the story. They said, let us do some digging. So, and I know before this happened, I did a Zoom with Paula Harris and Jacques Vallée. And Jacques told me in 1982, CUFOS was kind of in disarray. Things were changing. So I don't know. And we didn't have the technology back then as we do today.
Yeah.
I think if this would have happened today, it would have been a whole different story. So, and it's really sad that what happened and with our pieces and not hearing back, it was pretty sad. And just things were.
It's really great that you held on to some.
Yes, and I have all the documents.
It's really great, Julie, that you held on to pieces. I mean,
so anyway, MUFON hears back.
Yeah, because we hear so many cases where people. Oh, sorry, I was going to say we hear so many cases where people give their evidence away and they never see it again. So the fact that you still have some evidence is really, really,
I won't show the person's name, but I have his file. See here.
Mm-hmm.
And they wrote.
Okay.
They wrote to. They talked to Mark Rodinger. Katie, you know his name. Rodinger.
Mark Rodinger. Yeah, Mark Rodinger.
And he says they told MUFON. They said no, we never got any pieces from the University of Minnesota back in 1982. However, we have a letter here on file from March of 1982 from Julie's mother. Now it's a letter I was telling you about. My mother pleading with CUFOS. Where are our pieces? What happened? So they give that letter to MUFON, and MUFON gives me that letter. And I have that letter in my book. So now, and what the good thing, and this is the letter that my mother wrote to, and it's in the book also. This is the letter she wrote to, and I have everything in a photo album, but this is the letter that she sat down in March of 1982 and wrote to CUFOS. And remember I told you the one investigator that came out from CUFOS?
Yes.
My mother had his name on the bottom of the letter, and I'm like, that's the guy, Robert Ingberg. So now I have 39 years later, I have this guy's name now. Oh my gosh, I was so happy I got his name, and it took me 3 months to find him. I finally tracked down Robert Ingberg. And I say, hey, Robert, this is Julie Ohlson. This was 39 years ago. Do you remember being at our house and that we trusted you with our piece that was, that undisturbed piece that you seen in the snow? What happened? Oh my God. I mean, he was just like, he couldn't even believe that I contacted him. And he was just like, well, and I said, well, listen, I'm talking to Jacques Vallée and Paula Harris. You're talking to Jacques Vallée and Paula Harris? I said, yeah. And we want to know what happened to that piece that you took. And he's like, I'm so sorry. I need to find it. And he had a file too. He had a file and he had that piece. And he said he moved all around and he was sorry and he was going to look for it and he'd get back to me. He finally did get back to me a few months later. And he's like, Julie, I found the piece. And he says, I will give it back to you. And so June of 2021, I meet Robert in a little town of Mora, Minnesota at a diner. And Robert, here, let me grab this. Okay. So Robert was at our house in 1982, sitting at our table, took that piece from the snow and put it in a box. And I'll never forget it. As 18 years old, this is the box. And Robert's passed away now, but okay, this is, and I can say his name and all that on here because Robert and I became friends after, when he gave me this piece back. I talked to him many times. I forgave him. I didn't hold any animosity. I got my piece back. But this is a piece. Oh, I should actually have a glove on because I'm going to show you something too. Remember, Katie, I told you that this piece has been in this box for 40 years. Now this box is safe.
Yeah.
But this box,
I know. Isn't that incredible?
This box is growing some type of silver metallic on it. Do you see it?
Oh, yes.
Where do you have it stored, Julie?
Is it wet inside?
No, it's not musty or anything at all. I mean, it's growing like a silver. See that? There's no smell to it. There's no moisture.
Yeah.
Okay. So, and I probably shouldn't even be touching that. I ran out of gloves.
I know. I'm like, you should go wash your hands.
So anyway, so this is the box that Robert puts our piece in 1982. Okay. Now I'm going to show you I'm going to tell you the story how like I said, Robert, I met him at the diner and he set this on the table and I'm just shaking because I haven't seen this piece for 39 years. And Robert has me sign, and I gave that to you also, Katie, a letter of transmittal.
The chain of custody, sort of?
Yeah, he's releasing it back to me now. Yeah, there it is.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And do you see the top of that letter with his name on it? Anyway, Robert, he gives that back to me. Oh, he gives me this and he gives this back, the box. So I'm sitting at the diner, at the table, and I'm just shaking because I'm like, he better not play a game here because, I haven't seen this for 39 years and I'll never forget what these pieces look like. I mean, I have an attachment to these pieces. So anyway, let me grab this tweezers because I don't want to touch this. So this is the box. He gives it back to me and I got to grab the tweezers. Hold on.
It's almost like the box is changing, not shape, but its content. It's compound.
Like it's composition or something.
Yeah.
That picture doesn't even show it. It's silver metallic-y and it's growing something. I don't know what it is.
It needs to be tested too.
And it's not mold. It doesn't look like mold.
Smell, nothing. So Robert takes the cover off at the box at the at the diner. And I look at this piece and I started shaking. I started crying. I started trembling because, like I said, I have a human connection to this. This was like, it's just so sentimental to me. And I'm gonna pull it out of the box now. And this is, it's gonna stay in the box because this is the box it's been in for all these years. And it's so. I showed. Alan, I had a podcast the other night and I dropped this and that was not good. But these are the pieces that I got. These are what shot out of that lime green cigar shaped light, those fireballs. These are what landed into the snow and they burnt down and there was debris all around those. And we put a 50-cent piece on the plate. And I'll show you the picture with all the other pieces that I have. Oh, it's kind of hard to.
Now, you see that metal there? That metal, whatever substance that is, if you look at the side, the box is turning the same way.
Yes.
So I'm wondering.
Yeah, interesting.
I'm wondering if that piece is changing the molecular structure of the box.
Hey, I've never heard of a theory like that, but you know what I mean? That could very well be. And it has multiple rings and it's very charred. I mean, it's a real, and then it has, I'm going to put it down and show you this
Is
other
it very
side.
heavy?
No, it's not heavy at all. And then it has, see this brown?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta get back in here.
Put the box up again. Put the box
Okay,
up
let me
again.
put
Take
this-
a look at the
let me-
other ring, and then look
Okay,
at the
let me
box.
put it back in the
you
box.
you could see the box is changing into that structure. There's the brown. There's the white. There's the structure of that. Now put the ring right up next to it.
Oh,
You have the
okay.
ring, Julie?
Okay, hold on. I got to be very delicate with
Yeah, be
this
careful.
because,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Now, you have more pieces than just that one that was returned. Is that
Yes.
correct?
Absolutely, I do.
So they still could be tested, correct? What's the chain of custody been
Yes.
on the pieces that you have that you've had all these years?
Hang on. I got it. Wait, you guys want to see the piece in the box together, so hold on a second.
Okay.
I
Okay, I'm
just want
gonna
to see
show you
it
the
side
top
by
of the box.
side because I believe whatever that substance is.
There you go.
Is look
There
at,
we go.
I mean,
yeah.
it's
Yeah,
changing
look
it
at
to the
that.
same.
Well, I'm trying to get it in the.
You're right.
No, you
Chris.
got it.
Of
That's
what you
fine.
think. There it is. That's
Yeah,
good.
right there. Right. Hold it. Yeah,
So
right there's perfect. Yeah,
So
right
you
there.
can see
Look
that
at that.
box
Good
has
theory,
the
Chris.
same molecular structure as the ring.
Yes. And I'm telling you, no
Interesting.
mold, no smell. I mean, this isn't it's growing. This brown stuff is like bumpy on the bottom.
So it's actually changing the structure of the box. So okay.
Absolutely. And it's been in this box for 40
Okay,
years.
yeah, it does look similar.
It's been in the box for 40 years. So yeah. And I feel
Is there any mark in the box? Is there anything left in the box? Did it leave any marks inside?
Well, I have it on cotton.
Okay.
Is it changing on the inside? Yeah, is it changing on the inside of
Is
the
it
box?
changing on the inside of the box? I don't have very good lighting. Not really. It's kind of on the bottom it is, yes. But I have it in the box, and this is exactly how Robert gave it back to me. So
interesting.
So weird.
Wait, it's at the top of the box. Okay, I gotta put that back on. But this has been it's been in this box for that long. So okay, so now I have this piece back. I spent 2 hours in the diner with Robert. After that, we went to a park and talked. And sadly to say that 3 months after I got that back, he passed away. He had a sudden heart attack.
Wow.
So that piece was meant to be back in my life, back to me. And then now I'm kind of losing train of thought here. So we were just talking about how MUFON got that letter back. That's how I found out about Robert, who this investigator was that came into her home, put that piece in that box, and we never heard from him. So I get that back, and that's how my whole story. I'm like, and that's how I meet Paula Harris. Paula Harris forwarded my book. You guys, do you know who Paula Harris? Right?
Yeah.
Paula
Yes.
Harris,
Mhm,
right? Yeah.
absolutely.
So Paula Harris forwarded my book. Paula flew out to my house. She flew out we picked her up at the airport, and of course she lives in Colorado like you guys do. And I took her to the house where this happened. She stayed here for quite a while, like 4 days. And we went to the house. She's seen the street light. She's seen, just everything. Just kind of just doing her investigation and wanting to know how this, like the chronological order of all this. So Paula did a pretty thorough investigation, and she is the reason I wrote my book. She really pushed me to write the book. And I was already writing a book about my trauma, my upbringing, called Dark Secrets. But that's why my book has 2 titles: Dark Secrets, Hidden Lies, in the 1982 Willerny UFO case, because these 2 stories mirror and connect with my trauma, my upbringing, and my other sighting I had when I was 8 years old.
And Julie, I kind of wanted to talk to you. I wanted to kind of talk to you about that. I know I'm on a lag here, but that's something that I personally have been very interested in, and we've talked about on the show before. Are people who have traumatic histories or near-death experience, or people who disassociate, seem to connect into something, or perhaps ETs are interested in these, I guess, extreme emotions that we're going through. It's kind of a theory that I have, and perhaps that's why they were attracted to your family. And you and I kind of talked a little bit about this on the phone when we talked. But I want to commend you for kind of merging these two ideas together, both your childhood traumas and the UFO phenomenon. And not only that, but now would be a good time to ask you, did you encounter any paranormal things alongside with this UFO encounter?
You mean when this happened? Like, are you talking about when I was 18 and I witnessed
or even
this?
Right after? Any shadow beings or any other kind of unusual things that occurred to you as a child, either before or after the
But
sighting.
I just wanted to get back to this. Yeah. See, here's me and
before.
my mother. These are all the pieces that we got.
There's the dinner plate.
This is the plate we put them on.
Oh, yeah.
Of the coin. And now remember, the university has 2 pieces already there, and they sent those off to Kufo's, and Robert has a piece. But this is what we got out of the snowbanks. And this is in the newspaper. And I wanted to show you these. And then I wanted to show you how my mother and I, this is one of them that landed in the road and left a mark. God, it's so hard when you're doing that like that with the, sorry, they have the shiny.
Julie, has any of these pieces ever been tested where you've gotten a laboratory results back?
Well, I'm hearing that it's not going to be cheap because they have to go through a whole realm of testing, to find out what they are. And when I had my Zoom with Paula Harris and Jacques Vallée, and when Paula flew out here, I gave Paula 2 pieces to take back to Jacques Vallée. And it's here. I'm going to show you this. In my book, okay, this is him. So Paula leaves Minnesota, and she takes these straight to California. She literally flies from Minnesota to California to have him look at these pieces. Okay. And I explained this story to Katie, and I have this story in my book. And I got, do you remember how MUFON isn't just out of the blue going to, 40 years later, let's just write Julie Ohlson, find this woman and write her a letter and say, are you this woman? Something had to prompt that. There had to be a reason why MUFON did that.
Did they tell you a reason? Did they give you a reason?
There was this, and on my podcast, nobody talks about it. And I kind of get a little upset because I wrote it in my book. I feel like people that want to do a podcast with me, read the book so you can know the story. Because I have to try to put all these pieces together of how this whole thing came about. So there was this Al guy, and I can't say his name, just Al, I'll call him LT. And he contacted MUFON in 2019 and said, there's a story from 1980, and I witnessed it, and I got pieces of it, and I got pieces of a UFO. And what MUFON did is they took the piece that Al got, and it wasn't my piece. I know Al. He was my mother's younger brother's friend, and I met Al maybe 4 times in my life, and he's quite a bit older than me. Can't find him. He seriously is a vagrant. We can't find him. We tried. And so he's trying to claim fame for my story. And Dan Schneider, MUFON, and I can't say the person's name, MUFON gives Dan Schneider a piece that Al has to get tested. Okay. And I'm like, and I'm talking with MUFON. I'm like, well, why would you do that? I mean, this guy holds no credibility.
Sure.
He said this happened in 1980. My story, my what I witnessed with my mother and my father and the neighbors and multiple neighbors, my story was 1982. He wasn't there. Do you think that we knew that we were going to have a sighting like this, a miraculous sighting at midnight, and we're just going to call Al, who lived in Maplewood, 45 minutes away? Hey, Al, we have a UFO out here and it's shooting down flames. This guy. People do this. They do it, and it's really sad. So anyway, it was a long story, and I have to be careful not to get too involved in it because I have to. Paula is a good friend of mine, and she had to go through pure hell with a MUFON member, and so if they get this Dan, I shouldn't even say his name. This Dan, I already said it anyway, to test it, and he does a preliminary testing, and he says they could be of a Roman candle. So now Paula and Jacques and this other person from MUFON are at a Stargate somewhere or whatever. I'm at home just writing my book, and I get kind of pulled into this mess with those three. And yeah, when MUFON did get a hold of me, this person that did investigate, they helped me out. They called or they wrote to CUFOS. They got my mother's letter back that I forgot about for, all these years. And they were in my court for a little while and thinking that, okay, this is my case. Well, I didn't sign any contracts. I can, it wasn't nobody's case. I mean, I want to get my pieces tested and I want to get my story out there. So I asked this person from MUFON back in 2019, well, do you know who at that time worked at CUFOS? And she said, yes, Paula Harris and Alan Hynek. So I tracked down Paula Harris. I found her and I said, hey, I'm from Minnesota and this happened in 1982. And she didn't remember it. She couldn't recall anything like that. And CUFOS, Jacques did say that they were kind of in disarray at that time. Mm-hmm. So, and we didn't have the technology that we have today. So there was kind of some turbulence between Paula and, about this is my story. No, it's my, it just kind of, so anyway, it kind of tainted me getting my piece tested because Paula came out, I give up my pieces to have them tested. I mean, I'm not going to make this up. I'm not going to waste anybody's time. I don't have anything to lie about or make up. So Paula takes the pieces to Jacques, and then there's this Starworks convention, and then the person from MUFON says, well, that they were tested, and it's of a Roman candle,
How the alien ships fire Roman candles?
My whole story, and I just, and all those three have this thing going, back and forth, and Jacques just threw his hands up and said, forget it. But before he gave me, and he sent Paula sent my pieces back, but before Jacques gave my pieces back, he scraped them. And I have an email and he says, Julie, I'm going to test them. And this was October of 2022. October of 2021, he was going to test them. And I haven't heard back because they had this big to-do. And, that's not my fault. I mean, I got caught in a storm. And because this one guy went to MUFON and tried to claim, that he was there and he got this piece. I don't know what piece Al gave them, but I feel like the person from MUFON should have taken my piece.
To deceive you because of disinformation?
What's that?
You ever thought that they might have been deceiving you because of disinformation?
Well, I don't think that Paula deceived.
They had gold in their hands. They might not want to tell you it's gold.
Mm-hmm. I just, it was really sad. I cried when all this was going on because I'm trying to write my book, and it just was really sad that all this happened. And so, and Dan tested it.
Well, we don't.
It wasn't fair to me. And, and so I am willing to get this piece tested, or my other pieces tested because I want to know what it is because I may hold the Holy Grail. I don't know,
Right.
But yeah. I mean, I got
so the piece that,
and it was
so the piece that was
Go ahead,
So
Katie.
the piece that was supposedly tested was the one from Al, and probably wasn't. It was just some random thing that he probably gave to them. It wasn't even one of the genuine pieces. So,
And he said
in
he
other
was
words,
there.
the actual evidence from which he obviously wasn't. So the actual pieces have not been tested.
Bingo.
Right.
From the actual incident.
And he said this
Right.
happened in 1980.
And now you're probably gun shy on who do you trust.
That's what where I'm at right now. And I'm not going to go through all of this to waste anybody's time. I have some pieces here that I seen from either they're one or the other. They're from the government or they're from extraterrestrial. They're one or the other because this was no what do you call it?
Julie, are you aware that MUFON has a laboratory? The Mutual UFO Network has a laboratory.
No.
We have a laboratory.
Katie told me something about that on Saturday when she called me.
Right. Yeah. And I would encourage you you're in Minnesota, right?
Yes, I am.
All right. I will, off the air, I will get you the name of the state director in Minnesota.
Okay.
You call him, explain that you've been on the radio show. You talked to me, Chris DePerno, and Katie Grabowski and Tara Diulis, and that you want a piece of something to be tested by the Mutual UFO Laboratory. Now, I can tell you, Lynn Mann is exceptional. She runs the laboratory down there. She's fantastic. She's done work for me. I can vouch for her that she does a number one job. So
what's her name?
Lynn Mann. Lynn Mann.
Lynn Mann. Okay.
So we will set you up with her, okay, after the show. We will set you up with her, and we'll see if we can't get it tested. And then the only thing I'm going to ask is when you get the results, we can say it on the show here.
Absolutely.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And it just, to me, it just was so sad, that I mean, really? And so now you guys asked me if I had any other paranormals, right? And here's another MUFON person that asked me, and I can say his name because I got permission. Do you guys know who Bill McNeff is from MUFON, Minnesota? Bill McNeff.
I do.
Yes, I do.
You do? Okay. So Bill's like, Julie, so have you ever had any other, paranormal or any things, happen to you? And I'm like, yes. As a matter of fact, with my trauma, when I was 8 years old, I had, my father had just struck me in the side of the face. And he was an abusive, alcoholic father. He wasn't my father. And I didn't know that. I didn't know he wasn't my biological father as a little girl.
Oh, my God.
And my mother had a dark secret. I can't say that either. I can't say that word on the show. I found out just in 2015 or 2017. I finally found out who my father was. But
were you adopted, Julie?
No, much worse. But I can't.
Abducted?
Say. No, nothing like that.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean,
I'm a dark secret.
Can you tell us the dark secret?
Yeah.
My mother was taken advantage of. So,
raped?
And that's how I came into this world.
She was raped.
I can't say that. I can't say that I know what to say, and I know what I can't have anyone come in. I can't say, if you read the book, I have it in the book. She was taken advantage of, and I'm the middle child. So I have an older brother, two older twin sisters, and then two younger brothers. So I'm the middle, like in the middle. And my mother hung on to, can you imagine being married and you have this middle child that's not, Rawling knew I was not his biological daughter, but he wasn't a good father anyway. He was abusive to all of us. But I took the blunt of the trauma because he knew I wasn't his daughter. So he held this against my mother and me. So that's why it was my mother's dark secret. And before she passed away, when I got my ancestry, I took the picture of my father, my biological father, and I showed it to her, and my mother just clammed up. I mean, the whole thing was pretty emotional, and she's now passed, but I found out the truth. And but I'm going to get back to like when Rollin, when I was 8 years old, And I think I gave Katie you don't have to show the picture of me at 8 if you don't want. But I
want to see. I want to see.
Cute. You should show the picture.
Yeah. He struck me across the face, and I went in the bedroom.
Aww.
Yeah, I went into the bedroom and I
Adorable.
cried.
Mm.
And I was in the closet and I was pleading. I'm like, somebody's got to help me. I don't know what to do. You know, I was just like pleading for somebody or something to help me. I wanted help. Nobody was listening to me, no matter what I did. The whole thing was, here it is. It's so sad. So Bill McNiff, and I asked Bill from MUFON, here it is. Bill, can I put this in my book? He said, yes. He says, Julie, can you sketch me what you seen at 8 years old? My brother Ron was 7, I was 8, and we were on the bottom bunk bed. We lived in a 2-bedroom shack, and I mean literally 6 kids and my parents. Roland wasn't my father, but I didn't know that then. And they were up at the bar. So we were in the bottom bunk, and I was singing Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star. And my brother slapped his hand over my face, and he's like, stop. And he said, look. And I'm like, what? And I looked, and in the entryway of the bedroom, and we didn't have a door on that. There was no bedroom door on that bedroom. Bill asked me, what did you see? Can you draw it for me? This is what I drew. This is what was standing in my doorway. My brother put the blanket over his head, and I could just feel him trembling next to me. And I locked eyes with this. It had black, shiny eyes, and it had like a coat on. And there was like bulky, shiny things on that coat. It had little nubs for hands. I couldn't see the feet, like from the waist down because I'm laying on a bottom bunk. And I'm not going to sit up and look at this thing. I'm laying down. So this is all I can see from my projection where I was laying. And I wasn't sure if that was a hat and ears. We had behind the bunk bed, we had a window, and the window didn't have a curtain on. And the flame bar was like literally, I could throw a rock. That's how close that bar was from our house. And they had a big street light in their parking lot, and that reflected into our window. And I could see this little, to me, looked like a leprechaun. But he was, and by the way, in our little town of Willerny, next to the flame bar, guess what the other bar was called? The Leprechaun Pub.
Oh my
yes, the Leprechaun Pub.
So
this is, I'm looking at this, and I when I stared at it, our eyes connected, and I couldn't close my eyes. It was like magnets, and we just kind of pulled in with each other. And I wasn't afraid of it. I mean, I was, but I wasn't. And I stared at it for probably a minute or two, and then I opened and closed my eyes a few times, and then it was gone. And I'm like, oh my gosh, my brother's seen it. When my mother got home, we told her she had to search the house. Nothing's here. So Bill said, well, what did you see, Julie? And where was that? I just drew. Oh, you had that up again. Yeah. So that's what I seen. And then Bill emails me back, and he says, I'm going to read this. Bill, you asked me to reflect and sketch what I could remember at age 7 to 8. To my best of my knowledge, this is it. To me, it was a leprechaun, as I have no other way to explain it. It stood in the bedroom doorway and came no closer. It stood there for several minutes. As I opened and closed my eyes a few times, it was finally gone. It was not very tall, maybe 4 feet, if that. Not sure if the outline I saw was a rim of a hat or big ears. It had a long wrinkled face and a long chin. It seemed to have hair on and around the face, coarse hair. The eyes were shiny to me and stood out. I remember that I felt like the eyes were somehow on me. Even though I didn't move nor flinch, it was an eerie feeling. Not sure if it was a black coat. It seemed like it had a lot of bulk and shiny things to it. The arms were short, and I don't recall hands, more like nubs. It was dark in that bedroom, but the window behind the bunk bed gave off a light facing the entry bedroom door frame. We didn't have a door in that bedroom, just the door frame. I couldn't see the legs because I was laying down and could only see the image from that projection. Now here is the part that gave me chills today. I took a break from my sketch and I Googled leprechauns and a few pictures. Anyway, I'll go on and on. But so Bill, he says, Julie, hold on a second. He said, you didn't see an alien. And I said, no, I didn't see an alien. He said, you didn't draw a round head with the eyes. So Bill's like, Bill sends me this, okay? This is from 19 1969. Yeah, there you go. That's from 1969 from a military guy that got abducted. And he says, your picture looks just like that. And I said, oh my God, Bill, that's what I saw. So
Wow.
I drew the picture first, and I've got the email to prove
Wow.
it. Now, can you put my picture up with that one? I suppose you can. Can you put them side by side? Well,
No,
that's okay. But isn't that something?
Wow.
And
That's
the same
amazing.
height, like the 4 feet. And
Julie, do you think you summoned this being somehow? Do you think in your stress and your distress, you were somehow connected where you summoned this being?
well, I'm a little girl.
It's
I don't
just-
know what. Yeah, I just was in the closet crying and pleading. I mean, I needed someone to hear me because I was getting so abused. And then, and do you see my book cover?
Yes.
I'm with Chris and Tara and Katie. This was now Desta Barnaby. She helped me with my publish my book, but her Matt Lacoste designed my cover. There you go. Now, this is my design because that is supposed to portray me under, that street light in our yard.
Okay.
This light, this green light. So when I would get tossed out of the house as a little girl, I would go under the street light in our yard, and my father would lock her in the house, and she'd have to call my relatives, and they would have to come pick me up at 1, 2, 3 in the morning to pick me up. I couldn't just be out. I mean, rain, sleet, or snow. That street light was my safe spot. That is where that UFO came. And even though that happened where me and my mother witnessed it in the house, but that was my safe spot under the blanket of stars. And this is the picture that I always, that was my safe spot. And this is where that light came. So I know it's connected. I know it is. And also, remember I told you that my parents were getting divorced? That week, Roland had to be out of the house. Those were his last few days. And even my mother and I, she talked about it. She said, Julie, you and I don't have to have any more trauma. This light came, end of that trauma, both of our trauma at that same time. And we feel like it was a gift. We feel like it was a finality. We didn't have to deal with that anymore. And that's why this is my vision of they were watching, and I was, when I would sit out there in cold and stuff, and she couldn't come outside because he'd lock her in the house. And I would just feel so protected looking up at the stars and stuff. But this is where this green light came.
I have the question. So it's kind of a leprechaun, and leprechauns are associated with the green. I'm just curious if this is something that's been going on for a long time, and especially that sketch that you were given, that there were leprechauns out there. I think that's kind of interesting. You said that you had it was like an eerie feeling, but did you sense anything even when you were 8? I mean, was there anything that you sensed other than this is strange? And do you think you had missing time then, perhaps?
Okay. There were so many times where I had to leave the house because of abuse, and I'd run to the old tire swing, and I would just run, and I'd go to an old, like up on a hill, there was an old tire swing, and I would go on that tire swing, and I would sing, and I'd cry, and I'd sing, and it was my safe spot. And that, I just feel like I'd always just I'd be on that tire swing, and I'd sing Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star. And I felt so connected to the stars. You know what I mean? Like I just felt it was like, it relaxed me. I'd run and go to the old tire swing, and I'd stay there for hours. Cause to me, I was running away, but I mean, I was 8 years old. I had to get back home, but this happened so many times where I got chased away, and I'd run to that whole tire swing, and that was my safe spot.
Right.
So, and then when I got older, the street light became my safe spot, and we moved to the other house. But the house that I grew up in Willarney on Kinross Road, the house that I grew up was lime green. We were the only house with the lime green. I grew up in a lime green house. And one night I was surfing the web, and you're not going to believe this. I found this Best UFO Book of 2022, and I'm like, oh, that's my book. And here, this journalist that lived in Minnesota, he he found my book. He goes, I remember this story from 40 years ago. So he picked my book apart and he wrote about all the synchronicities, and it's mind blowing. And I reached out to him and I said, and his name is Ken Korsak. I said, Ken, oh my gosh, everything that you write about. And he said, even your lime green house, the leprechaun, the streets you lived on, Kinross and Killarney, those are all Irish. You know, he said, there's something to that. And that little leprechaun type guy you've seen. And I'm just like, my mind is blown.
Are you Irish?
Yeah. And it just, if you can find this on YouTube or Google or whatever. And it's unbelievable what this journalist wrote, because he remembers this story. And when he's seen my book out there, he writes the whole thing. I mean, like I said, I found this best UFO book, and if you read it, it's really, it all makes sense. I know my experience at 8 and I know my experience at 18 are connected, and that's why I have my mother going through the divorce at that time. Our trauma was over. Roland, this light came at the time my mother her divorce was final. No more trauma. I mean, it just all, I really have it in detail in the book, and I know this was all meant to be, and I know it was for a reason. I do, and no one can take that from me. You know what I mean? Awesome. And my mother felt it too. My mother felt the same way I felt. So we both experienced this, and what's out there, what was this? I mean, and getting back to the pieces I have and to get these tested, and I can't wait to see what they are and to share them with the world, because wouldn't that be something? I mean, to receive
absolutely amazing.
Give a gift.
Katie had a question, and she has a little lag, but let's see if we can get Katie's question.
I did.
Sure.
Okay. I'm going to try and talk. I know I'm on the lag here. I have a couple things. I wanted to comment about what Amanda had said. She mentioned that perhaps, and I've heard other stories like this, like the Navajo Rangers had talked about, extraterrestrials perhaps shifting into things that are more friendly for children. Mm-hmm. And perhaps because you have the connection to the green and the green light and the Irish bar and Irish connection, ET showed themselves to you as the leprechaun type being. I know we've heard of them showing up as rabbits and other types of things that children will not be so afraid of. So that's an excellent point. But Julie, when I was kind of pre-reading your book there, in the front of your book, you wrote a beautiful dedication to your mother. And in it, you talk about a lake near your home where there were never any swans. Can you talk about that a little bit and what happened after your mother's passing and the swans?
Oh my gosh. I was sitting at this table and I was writing my book, and my mother and her sister, they said, my mother was a twin, and my mother passed away January of 2018, and then her sister passed 7 months after her, literally died of a broken heart. And they were Jane and June. And my mother always told me, she said, Julie, I'm going to come back as a swan, me and my twin. And I'm writing my book, and I put the picture in the book. Do you guys see I could show you. And
I did. I didn't
have
upload
it right here.
I
you can maybe
show
my
it.
book.
That would be great.
And these are the two swans. And we don't have swans on our lake. We do now, though. And these are the two swans that, I'm writing right here. And so I snapped that picture. And my mother said, and they were always, their numbers were 7. Okay, today's March 7th, and my show was on at 7 o'clock. She goes, I'm going to give you double 7s. So I thought about that today. I'm like, oh, wow, it's March.
I got the goosebumps.
I see 7s all the time. And I did dedicate my book to her, because, if she knew, that I wrote this book, and because this was what we experienced together, and to have it just, those pieces taken away, and we never heard anything back. And that was so sad. But we witnessed this together, and I know that she was watching me when I was writing my book. So thank you for noticing that, with the swans. And she would really appreciate this book. Yeah, I'm glad. I didn't even think I could write a book, but Paula, like I said, Paula Harris, she was a big, influence. Julie, got to do this, and I did it, and not very good computer skills, but I got through it, and I'm proud of myself.
Well, when you have something important to share, when you have something important to share with the world like you do, it pushes you to get through. So I congratulate you on writing that book. And I just thought that was such a beautiful story with your mom. So thanks for sharing that.
Sure, Chris, what do you have?
I was going to ask you, do you think you, in any time of your life, your mother or your grandmother was an abductee?
I don't know. There was some bizarre, my mother's sister, Clarine, is still alive today. She's in her 80s, and she tells me so many bizarre stories. And my mother was Irish. She was Murphy, and her father was
I'm going to be honest with you. I lived in Ireland for 2 years, and
you said that.
There is no way you can get through having a pint of Guinness without talking about leprechauns. And leprechauns are very mischievous. In Ireland, they talk about how they're very mischievous. And you would sit there and people would talk. I saw a leprechaun and he did this. I saw a leprechaun. I've never seen a leprechaun. I have no idea. I know somebody who did, scared the living bejesus out of him.
Wow.
And he's a very trustworthy person. So, but the leprechaun or this figure that came to you didn't seem like it was mischievous. It came in your time of need. It came in your time of help when you were down there. And sometimes an extraterrestrial will, if they have you're implanted or if you've had contact with them, your psyche is connected to their psyche. They might come to see what's troubling you so much, because you're in tears, you're singing to calm yourself down. You're having this very much PTSD trauma in your life that it's very hard to do for such a young child. And I will tell you, I've handled those type of cases as a criminal detective, so I understand that. So I'm just thinking that your consciousness at this time was maybe calling them for help. What do you think?
Yes, I believe that. Writing my book too, I had to put myself in counseling, and I did trauma therapy, because just going back and into my childhood and putting all this, pulling all this stuff that I had stuffed so down, it's so compacted down. And I, just writing about it and releasing it and putting it on paper it was therapeutic. And like I said, I went to counseling for that, and that helped tremendously. And I got to tell my counselor so much more that I didn't even write in the book. Like, there's some, I don't want to hang out my dirty laundry in the whole book. I mean, I do go into some depth about some things, but there's some things I just left between me and my counselor.
That you tell that, because truthfully, there's so many other victims like you. I consider you a victim.
Yes,
and
I
so
was
many
robbed
other
in my
victims.
childhood.
Right. And there's so many other children that have gone through and will go through the same abuse and trauma that you have. And I think it's important for people who have the real deal like yourself to be able to tell about this, connecting it with an extraterrestrial thought that there's you could survive this. You're a survivor.
Yes.
You're a strong survivor, and it's important for other people to see that you're a strong survivor. So I applaud you.
And it made me a better person. It truly made me a better person. Yes.
No doubt. No doubt.
Unfortunately, all my siblings, I have 8. I found my biological father. So now I have another half sister and 2 more brothers. And then wonderful. I have 5 brothers and 3 sisters, and I don't have a relationship with any of them because the newfound family their mother's in a wheelchair and they didn't want their father to know about me. So whatever. Okay. And then my other siblings, unfortunately, they're all on the drugs. So, and pretty bad too. And they grew up with this mindset that you're not our sister. And they always treated me like I never got to ride in the car. My father always said, you're no daughter of mine. I never like, he never picked me up or, I never had that bond, but I'd watch them have that, but I didn't have that, but that's okay. So, but they learn that behavior and I forgive them, and it's not their fault. And I pray for them, but it is what it is. And I'm just, I'm serious. I mean, I have 3 daughters and they're successful. I have 2 grandchildren. I have a husband. I mean, I have a pretty good life. So I can't complain.
Awesome.
Yeah. And I wrote a book.
And galactic family.
So
Yes.
it's pretty good. So I have no complaints, but we need to find out what these are. We
Julie,
really do.
So with all that you've been thinking about all these years and stuff, what do you think is going on? I mean, the bigger picture, do you have an opinion?
Well, it seems like that, even like writing my book and all this thing that happened with Jacques and all this stuff, I just feel like I want these pieces to be tested, but it always feels like I get like 2 steps ahead and then I'm, 3 steps back. And I that's why I'm doing these podcasts, and I appreciate you guys inviting me. And I just really want to get what I have tested. I want to know what they are, and I want to share it with the world. I just, I do. And they're going to go back in the safe when this is over here. I mean, away from our home, but I appreciate Chris going to give me some information on this person that he talked about. So I just think that maybe if I do have something special, I feel special because they chose me to share it with you. You know what I mean? Like, because my mother's not here. They both my mother and I got to experience this, and of course she's gone. But I can share it now. This gift that I got, I can share it with everybody else. So I feel blessed and fortunate about that. So yeah, I mean, I guess I don't know what more to say. I mean,
Have you ever put a magnet to it?
I did. Because I had one guy, he said, can you take, I said, I don't have a magnet, but I had a magnet on my refrigerator, those chunky ones, Yeah. It did nothing. And then he wanted me to, no. And then he
How
said,
about putting it near a radio? Because sometimes these objects give off some kind of a radio frequency.
well, I got the computer right here.
Well, I mean, AM, FM radio when you get a chance and stuff like that. Just
I can
put it
try
near.
that tonight.
The thing that's curious about what you showed me is that the box is changing its molecular structure. So I would have the box tested
as well
as the pieces inside, because I have heard of one other story like this. It came from Linda Zimmerman, and Linda Zimmerman said that she had gotten information about material came from a craft, and where they had put it, the molecular structure of the stuff around it was changing to the similar to what that piece was. Whether it was dissolving it or changing it, but they could see a difference. And I don't know if it was a table. They just said that where they had put this piece, that the surrounding pieces, the earth pieces, were changing, and they could tell that there was a molecular difference, and it was not good. They were very worried about this. So I automatically, when I saw that, I said, "Wait a minute! There's that brown. There's that white. I mean, how unusual is that ring would have the same color and coating that box changed to, and you could see the difference. It's not like
Chris, you're the first one that said that caught, through my podcast.
Well, that's why I'm a detective.
And it's silver. If you put it like in the sunlight, it's metallic. I'm not kidding you. It is metallic. It's not even like, mold that grows like a white powdery, and a smell. None of that. And it's not just flat. It actually has a thickness to it.
Does it transfer to your finger if you touch it? Have you touched it?
No. I'm trying to keep my hands.
Was there any change in the ground?
I'm going to go wash my hands. I didn't have any gloves. But,
Julie, was there any change in the ground that eventually when the snow melted and everything, did you see any difference in the ground that was there? Did the grass grow? Did it die? Was there something?
Were there marks, rings?
Believe me, when this happened in February, so I had to wait, the rest of February, March, April, for the snow to go.
Oh, yeah.
So we had 2 feet of snow back then. But believe me, I went out and I went across and remember, across the street from us is ponds. I mean, it's swamp. So try to walk in a swamp. I looked through our yard. I looked on the side of the, like the pond part where you could walk, where it wasn't so mushy, where you would sink down. I did. I went out there for quite a while after that, just searching, but I didn't see anything, but I did try back then. I really did. So, and I'm just fortunate to have, if my mother wrote that letter in March of 1982, and MUFON found that letter at Kufo's 39 years later, I would have never got, knew Robert Engberg, I mean, I forgot his name, but I would
Julie,
never got.
one quick question we got, because 30 seconds.
Okay.
Do you think they're still with you? Do you have that feeling that these extraterrestrials are still
Something's
with you?
with me, and I can share that another time, and it's really weird, but something's with me, and my husband knows, and he knows something is, yes. There's something with me.
Well, that's about our show, and I want to thank you, Julie, for being on the show. Yes. Katie Page is having some technical difficulties, so I get the chance to close the show for tonight. Isn't that something? So, folks, get this book. Amanda, put up her book one more time for us, please. There it is, Dark Secrets and Hidden Lies. I'm definitely going to get it. You got to get it. This is going to be a great read. Julie Ohlson, don't forget that name. If you get a chance, buy this book. Hey, for the entire crew tonight, I want to thank you for being with MUFON What's Up, and we'll see you next week.
Thank you for having me.
Bye-bye, Julie.
Thank you. If anyone
Thank
to
you
send
so
me
much.
any questions, they can just,
Bye.
I'll put my email up there, and they can, if they have any questions. Yep.
You rock. We'll do it.
Okay. Thank you, guys. Have a great
All right.
evening.
Thanks.
All right. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye.